So, gonna lose you. Happy day, everybody. As I'm walking through the garden this morning, I noticed that there's a little bit of, I don't want to call it rust, but there's some spotting on some of the tomato leaves. So we're going to go ahead and thin it out a little bit so there's more air circulation so that we don't have any diseases and stuff that are going to attack the tomato plants. So here's a good example. We've got this tomato plant that's big and bushy, and he's a bit heavy. So I'm going to prune it a bit so that it looks a little bit more like this guy here with not so much foliage, so it's got plenty of air. This guy could probably do with a little bit too, because I noticed yesterday that we've got a little bit of blossom end rot, and that is due to the inconsistent watering. Basically, it's because we're having so much rain that it's getting too much water. So yeah, you can see that one's got some blossom end rot too. So we'll probably end up sacrificing those just so that the plant can bounce back and put off more flowers in the future, because our heat and all this water is really not doing my tomatoes too good. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come down here, and I've noticed all of this foliage. So one of the big leaves is, you can see down there, there's a sucker, and then there's this big stem. So I'm going to take this big stem out. And when I do that, then we'll pull this guy here out, and look how much more open that is. So now air can get in there. And that's what I'm going to do with the whole plant. Is you can see down there, there was a leaf and a sucker, so I left the sucker so that we can have more fruit, but I took off the leaf, and that's so that we have more air circulation. Same way with up here, I'm going to take this leaf off. And when I do that, now there's more air circulation. You can see how much open that is. And down there is a little sucker, so it's okay to do that. And I'm going to actually cut that stem a little bit shorter. I'm hoping that you can see this. I'm going to cut that stem a bit shorter just so that it's not so nubby. Clean it up there. And that looks a lot better, and now there's more air circulation. So I'm going to do that with a couple of more of these leaves just to give it some more air. Like, see how here this is so bushy? We don't need all of that inside there. So this one here, I'm going to lop that off. And now look how much air is in there. Got more circulation, more airflow. A lot better, and it's going to help the plant grow a lot better too. All right, let's see here. This one is, you can see there are potential suckers, so when I take off some of these leaves, it's not hurting the plant because it's just going to stimulate it to grow more. And I got this leaf all tucked onto the trellis, but now look how much more air is in there. And I really don't want a lot of these leaves inside, because the more that they grow on the inside, the more that there's not going to be air. And they need circulation in order to not get pests and hold the moisture that they're holding. So that looks a bit better. It's getting some more aeration in this side. Now I'm going to do this side over here and see what we can do. I've got a leaf way down here. Oh, gonna get poked in the head by another one. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. This leaf has some buds on it, but it's, let's see. And then we got this guy here with some buds. So there's too much congestion. Whoops, can't even see that. Sorry about that, guys. too much congestion there, so I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the bottom branch way down here, because even though it has a couple buds on it, you also don't want your tomatoes sitting on the ground, because one, they will reroot and grow all on their own, but again, then you're asking for disease. So that's a little bit better. I think we're going to come through here and I'll eliminate this little guy here. I'm hoping you guys can see this. It's hard to run the camera and do that. And now look. Now he's got a bit more air. I think we'll go to the other side of it, inside of the trellis, and take a look at the leafage here. Is really full. So I think we're going to go ahead and reach in here and take off this branch. Now I do have this branch tucked up on the trellis, but once we pull it out of here, just like this, now look at all the airflow in there. So much better. So much better. Alright, and then we got this other little branch here. I'm just going to go ahead and lop that guy off. And now look, voila. There's potential growth here, which is fine. There's still a little bit of leafage over here for solar panels. And the rest is nice and aerated. And this guy is holding the stem up because he's so big. I'm probably going to re-tack him onto the trellis now that we've got some air in there. But now look at him. That is so much better, and there's more air that's going to go through there. We're not going to have all the moisture and everything, and I think that's going to do a lot better for the entire plant. And there's our carnage. Carnage cam, that's all that we just chopped off. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that to this one here and that one over there, because you can see how full he is compared to that guy. So I'm just going to open them up a little bit so that they have more air and airflow. We'll go ahead and pick up all this carnage and toss it over here with all the dead, rotten weeds in the road. And I'll show you, I did just see a spot, and this is what I'm talking about. See the spotting on that leaf? This one here is getting that way too, so we need to give it some more air. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I'm sure you don't want to watch me sit here and prune all of the tomatoes, but we'll go ahead and give it a little bit more airflow and help it out, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alright, well, I went in and washed my hands, because handling tomatoes will give you, the tomatoes have a tar on them, and so they will turn your hands green. So I went in and washed my hands, and now I'll give you a good view of how they look now. Now remember, these are indeterminate tomatoes, which means they can get anywhere between 8 to 15 foot tall. I left all the flower buds on, hoping that they're going to bounce back, but opened it up, gave it plenty of air, left all the buds on and the suckers, because the suckers are what's going to give me more fruit. Well, you can see that guy over there. See how much cleaner he is? And I even did this guy. So let's walk around over here and I'll show you. He looks a little bit leggy, but that's okay, because I want to keep at least a foot of the stem clean, so that it's not having any bounce off of the dirt and the soil to have diseases. So, but he's got plenty of fruit that's going to push off too. This guy, I did the same thing. He was wobbly when I grew him, so I kind of put him in the pot a little bit sideways, and that's my fault. But I've opened him up. You can see that there's a lot more space there, a lot more air. and he still has plenty of buds. And the season just started, so we've got plenty of time for it to bounce back from this pruning and still give us plenty of fruit. So thank you for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comments. Remember that you are someone. You do matter. I love you. I appreciate you watching. I hope you guys actually got some good information from this. And I will see you on the next video. Until then, ciao now.